But today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'll ever stop it.
I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top,
I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me, but they hate from inside.
All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to a special edition, Monday edition of Unscripted here on the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. With March fully underway now, we are going to keep the bracketology as we've done, as you've seen with our food episode. So we decided, you know what, baseball is right around the corner. Let's just do a March Madness style baseball tournament, but not just any kind. We did food, as you saw the other day. But now we're going to the stadiums, and we're talking baseball stadiums, and there's a lot of them to cover, and I can't do it all by myself. That's why I am bringing on our stat guy, Dustin Reese, to help me out, and so we can go through, dissect, and figure out which stadium we believe is the best. Dustin, how you doing, man?
Good. It's hard to believe that regular season baseball will be here in 6 days.
Yeah, it really is, man. Baseball has started up for two teams. More on that in a moment, but it's always a fun time nonetheless. But guys, if you enjoyed this episode, give us a like, follow, share, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. You can check us out on all major social media platforms, that being on Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. And also go and connect with us on LinkedIn. We do have some offerings out there. If you want to come be a part of the network, that is the way to do so. Check that out. And if you want to be on here, if you want to help out in any way, shape, or form, go over and send us a DM or just go and apply. Also, go check out our podcast, too, available every single week. Thanks to the fine folks at Spotify, Apple, all those other major podcast room platforms for carrying us and as we just continue to grow and grow here on the channel. So I mentioned that baseball has started with the Dodgers and the San Diego Padres going at it. That is why we're going to give those two teams a bye coming into this matchup. Though they have a first round bye because, well, they're the first ones to kick things off. So I think that's only fair. But we have a lot of teams, a lot of really good stadiums to look at. So Dustin, let's get into it, man. We got a lot to cram in here in 30 minutes. So let's get it going. Let's go with out in Texas, the World Series champions, the Texas Rangers in Globe Life Field. They'll be taking on Oracle Park in San Francisco. Give me your thoughts, man. What do you like about both these stadiums? Which one do you think should move on?
I mean, honestly, I actually like Texas's old stadium more than their new stadium.
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, I understand the retractable roof side of things, but I just don't really like the configuration of their new stadium as opposed to the old one. I like a lot more. But Oracle Park is one of the three nicest stadiums in baseball. I mean, you overlook the ocean. You have just everything that comes with it, the history behind it, just all the McCovey Cove home runs and things like that. So I got to move Oracle on in that one.
No, I'm with you, man. I've always been a fan. And to be fair, I did enjoy, I think it was Great America. No, it wasn't Great America Ballpark. It was in Arlington, their old stadium.
Ballpark in Arlington. And
yes.
Changed it to Globe Life Park there.
Yeah. I really liked the one in Arlington, man. I liked the hill they had in center field where, whenever Josh Hamilton and Ian Kinsler were hitting bombs to dead center, Michael Young. All the fans were out there just chasing it down and whatnot. I like the way that stadium looked, and I get this is one of the newer stadiums. It looks a lot, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's something that I like, man, about Oracle. It's the bay, it's the giant, the gloves they have. It's just a really nice ballpark, I think. Also, the brick, obviously, you mentioned McCovey Cove. The brick right field wall is a nice touch. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I got to go Oracle. I think it's one of the best ballparks in baseball. All right, we're going to head up north to visit our friends in Toronto in Rogers Center. They'll be taking on PNC Park. So I'll give my analysis on this first, man. I like Toronto. I like what the Blue Jays are up to. Obviously, they've had that stadium for quite some time now. But I don't know about you, Dustin. I haven't been there. I don't know if you have. But PNC Park, notoriously, for a lot of people who are in the sport who like baseball, say that PNC Park is one of the most beautiful ballparks that you can attend, that you can go to. I mean, just the way it's shaped, the dimensions, all the other things going on around it, and also the view, too. I really like PNC. What are your thoughts, though?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Oracle Park as it is with PNC. Obviously, you don't have the bay you're overlooking, but you're overlooking the Pittsburgh skyline. You're overlooking the 3 bridges that represent the 3 rivers going into Pittsburgh, and it's just kind of the way that stadium is situated as opposed to the Rogers Center. Yes, it's the only Canadian baseball team. Yes, it was the first retractable roof in Major League Baseball, but that's really all there is to it. I mean, there's nothing that stands out about it, so I'm going to have to put PNC in.
Understandable. Now we're going out to your neck of the woods, brother. We're talking Chicago. We're talking Wrigley Field and Guaranteed Rate Field. Now, I've also been to both these ballparks. I went to Chicago around 10 years ago, and I was able to go to both of these. They were both having home games. I will say, if you're ever in the Wrigley Field, I hope you're not taller than like 5'6", because it is cramped beyond belief. I remember I was 15, 16, so I was about the same height I am now, maybe a little bit shorter, but I was still about 5'10". And I remember, Dustin, going into the gift shop and having to like crouch the entire time, because that's just when it was built back in the early 1900s. People weren't that tall. But obviously, especially in the summer, in spring, all the reasons I love with Wrigley, man, is the ivy, obviously on the outfield outskirts. I like the way it is. There's a couple of bad seats in the house, don't get me wrong, but you're going to get a good view for the most part. And it's also just neat. You're going to be cramped. You're going to have to stretch beforehand because it is small. But it's just something about it, man, that I really like. And don't get me wrong, I like Chicago when I went to the White Sox games. I thought it was really neat, but I just don't think I can compare these two. What do you think?
I mean, it's not as cramped as it once was now that they did their remodel, but it is still
right. And I haven't been there in about 10 years, so I can't really speak to it that much. But
like when you think of Wrigley Field and when you think of baseball in general, Wrigley Field is the only stadium that's actually built in a neighborhood and not actually built in a city. So it kind of gives you that you're leaving elementary school to go play with your friends at the park vibe.
It does.
It's not like in the city, and Guaranteed Rate Field is in the bad part of Chicago, the south side of town where you really don't want to be at.
No, that's you can't be looking on your phone. You gotta be watching your surroundings.
So that alone kind of makes Wrigley Field stand out. But Wrigley Field is one of the iconic ballparks in baseball, and if it's a place that you've never been to, you have to get there soon enough. So we're gonna put that one through.
All right, works for me, man. And the Chicago Cubs and Wrigley are moving on. All right, up next, another stadium I've been to, and that is Busch Stadium in St. Louis with the Cardinals. They will be taking on, who do we got here? Lone Depot Park, the newer ballpark for the Miami Marlins. I think for me, man, I got to go with St. Louis. It is a beautiful, beautiful park. I mean, you see the arch from where you sit. There's the grass and the dirt always looks pristine. It's a beautiful, beautiful ballpark, man. Honestly, I loved when I went there, and I thought it was amazing. Now for Miami, I have not been to that stadium, but I will say I liked what they did more back when they first became the Miami Marlins. when they had the weird like statue in like left center field that they had for a couple seasons.
The spinning marlin.
Yes, the spinning marlin. Yes, I was a fan of that, and I also like I think they only had it for maybe 1 or 2 seasons. They had an actual fish tank behind the backstop. I thought that was really cool. Yep. But now that they've taken both of those out, to me, it just doesn't get the job done, especially when you're going up against the Cardinals and Busch Stadium. What do you think?
I mean, these are 2 stadiums that actually did a much better job with their secondary stadium from their original stadium. Obviously, the Marlins played where the Dolphins used to play and whatnot.
Oh,
but
when
he took the spinning marlin out, you kind of ruined that stadium, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I know
you took away some of the character, and now it's just any kind of Joe Schmo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know Derek Jeter at the time was doing something obviously to try to cut costs and save money, but that kind of took away from what people liked about it. So that reason alone kind of puts them out of this one because Busch Stadium is going through.
I'm with you. Okay, sounds good, brother. Let's keep it going here. Mile High, Coors Field taking on their NL West rivals and the World Series runner-ups, the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Coors Field taking on Chase Field. Dustin, I'll let you go ahead and give your spiel first. Which one of these do you prefer the most?
These are actually 2 pretty evenly matched stadiums in my opinion.
I would say so also. I like both of these.
Obviously 2 different styles. Chase Field, you obviously have to have the retractable roof because of the heat and everything in Arizona. Coors Field, you're a mile up in the air, you're in the mountains and things like that. Chase Field, you have the swimming pool in right center. Coors Field, you got the rocks and those little waterfalls in center field. So every stadium kind of has their little niche to it that the other one doesn't. If it was up to me, I would give the slight edge to Chase Field over Coors Field, mainly because I do like that swimming pool and hot tub in right center.
Yeah, and I think honestly, if these 2 were not going up against each other, I feel like these 2 could go pretty far. But I like Chase Field because, as you mentioned, it's retractable. It always looks nice too. You don't really ever hear any complaints about it's dirty, it's dingy, it's beat up. Like you mentioned, it always looks nice. The layout of it's really cool too. The pool in the outfield is always neat because whenever they clinch in the playoffs or whatnot, they always go take a dive out there. And for Coors Field, don't get me wrong, I like it. Right, it's really cool. You got the trees and the rocks out there in center field that make it look nice and make it pop. And I think, honestly, Dustin, I think the Coors Field at nighttime or in day going into dusk, that might be one of the most beautiful ballparks out there, just because of the skyline and like we mentioned, the altitude and whatnot that you're at. But I'm willing to concede. I am willing to go with Chase Field in a very tight matchup. I like both of these, man. But we had to pick one, so the Diamondbacks are moving on in our bracket. All right, let's keep it going here, man. Up next, we've got Truist Park and Kauffman Stadium. Obviously, I've been to Truist. I live 30 minutes from it. Absolutely beautiful ballpark. Kauffman Stadium I have not been to, but it's also one of those, man, it's an absolute just stunner. So since I do have the hometown advantage, I'll let you decide which one you think should move on.
See, I haven't obviously been to Truist Park yet, so I can't really say much on that. And the thing I like about Kauffman Stadium is the waterfalls and the fountains and everything.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't like Kauffman Stadium too much. I know they just did a remodel, I think, 10 years ago or something like that, but it really didn't do much to change that. So now they're in the process of getting a new ballpark. So put Truist Park through just because it's newer and you know more about that one than I do.
I would also say if you're ever in Atlanta, you have to go to Truist early because of the Battery, which is its own city, basically. It's something to behold, man. Next time you're in Atlanta, we got to go. All right, let's go. Another stadium I've been to, Anaheim, in Angel Stadium in California, taking on Camden Yards. Now, for me, I've never been to Camden Yards, but, dude, I just think it looks so pretty. Honestly, I think that it is just absolutely tremendous. In Baltimore, obviously, you've got everything out there with, the field houses and whatnot behind it. Just the way it's looking. And I don't get me wrong, I liked Angel Stadium. I thought Angel Stadium was sweet. But for me, man, I gotta rock with Baltimore. I like both of these, but if I had to pick, I'd have to go with Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I thought Angel Stadium at Anaheim was much better a few years ago. It doesn't seem like it has that same vibe anymore. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't seem like it has that same vibe that it once had.
I got you.
And in terms of Camden Yards, you have the warehouse out in right field that was obviously very well known for like home runs during the home run derby going out there. When the crowd does show up, it has a nice atmosphere, even though they haven't had the privilege of saying that much recently.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But when it's packed out, it looks good.
Yeah, the location of Camden Yards I do not like, but then again, Baltimore is really not a safe city to begin with. So I mean, that's the edge that I would give Anaheim there.
All right,
but I do like Camden. I do like Camden Yards. We're gonna put them through.
Orioles moving on. All right, up next we have let's see here. Fenway Park and Nationals Park. Honestly, Fenway, obviously it's one of the most iconic stadiums in baseball. Green Monster, short right field. I mean, what else do you need to say? Nationals Park, it looks nice. It looks like a solid ballpark, but to me, man, I got to go Fenway.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even really much of a debate there.
No.
Fenway is an iconic park. Nationals Park is not.
I felt like I would get my baseball card revoked if I said otherwise. Here's one I think we can just go ahead and say this is an easy winner. Tropicana Field and Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
It's got to go Citizens Bank, right?
Well, it would have been really funny if they put Tropicana up against the A's.
Oh, brother. That would have been just both of them get X'd out. Because we'll talk about them in a moment. All right. City Field and Target Field. This is a solid one. I would give the slight edge to Target Field, I think. Every time I see it, it looks so pretty. And it looks so nice. And City Field, it is a very nice stadium as well. But I might have to go with Target Field. I wish that it was both of these teams' former stadiums, with the Dome in Minnesota. I love the Dome, dude. But I think they're a good idea. So who would you pick moving on, Dustin?
I would pick Target Field just because it's such a massive upgrade from the Metrodome.
Yeah, I agree. And I like the Metrodome personally, but we will keep it going here. All right. Yankee Stadium and it's Ring Central Coliseum in Oakland. Yankees moving on. We don't even have to go into that. That would be a whole other show by itself. All right, T-Mobile Park in Seattle taking on Progressive Field in Cleveland. Now, this is kind of a toss-up, bro. I like both of these. I really like both of these. Are you swayed either way?
I am, but I have certain reasons why I'm going to say one stadium over the another. So,
right.
I like T-Mobile Field more.
Yep.
But because a certain World Series was run at Progressive Field, I'm going to have to put Progressive Field through because of that reason, because of what it means to me.
Understandable. And Progressive Field, obviously, it's a solid stadium nonetheless. I like it better at night too. It's like I mentioned with Colorado, it's beautiful at night. All right, we're getting close to the end of the first round here. Minute Maid Park in Houston taking on Comerica Park in Detroit.
Oh wow,
yeah.
This is where Jay would come in handy for this one.
I know
he would be a tiebreaker on this one.
Who would you go with, Dustin? We'll see.
Honestly, I would go with Comerica. I mean, I know
really?
Tiger Stadium is got more history than Comerica Park.
Yeah,
but it kind of fits that same mold as PNC Park and Citizens Bank Park, where the stadium is located. You look right over center field, that batter's eye, you can see downtown Detroit.
Yeah,
I love that about a lot of these baseball stadiums. So I would pick Comerica.
Yeah, this is where we need Jay. Because I like Minute Maid, but I'm willing to accept.
No, we're putting Minute Maid through because if Jay was here, he would pick Minute Maid.
Okay, I feel like that's fair. That's fair to Jay. But like I said, those are two really good teams, or sorry, two really good stadiums. So that's a tough one. All right, running out the first round here, man. American Family Field in Milwaukee taking on Great American Ballpark.
God, another tough one.
Yeah, for me, I'd have to go a little bit more towards Great America.
That's
me personally. I love the Brewers and the slide and everything.
Well, here's the way. So I'm picking Great American Ballpark because the Brewers changed the stadium name from Miller Park to the Ship
Yeah,
Stadium.
yeah, they need to get punished
So
for that.
they lose their points for that.
That's fair. If they kept it,
If they kept it, Miller Park would be going
yeah,
through it because they
it
did
would.
that.
It would. All right, let me tally things up here, and then we'll keep moving on to round number 2. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, now we're good and even. I'm taking notes here on my phone. All right, let's go back here, Dustin. Back up top, Giants and Dodgers.
Giants. I mean, just like that, we've talked about it before. The Bay of San Francisco, just the view that you get at PNC is better than looking at Chavez Ravine.
Yep, and Chavez Ravine is a great ballpark. I like it. I've been to it as well, but yeah, I gotta go Oracle and Giants. All right, tough one, man.
Nope.
Pirates and Cubs.
Not tough for me.
Yeah, I know you're gonna go Cubs. Yeah, yeah. All right, Cardinals and Diamondbacks.
Cardinals.
That works for me. I like Diamondbacks, but Cardinals is just too good.
I do too, but like the one thing I like best about baseball compared to any other sport is you don't have the people in center field because you can't. So you get to see like so many different skylines and so many different backdrops that you don't.
And Cardinals is tremendous.
Like you don't get that with a retractable or a dome stadium.
No. All right, the Braves and Orioles.
Truest.
Yep, I'm cool with that. All right, Red Sox and Phillies.
Fenway because of the history.
Yep, just
it's close, but Fenway because of the history.
All right, this one, Twins and Yankees.
Nope, I go Yankees because of the history.
Do you? All right. Well, you say that, but this one's only been around since
it is, but
09.
it's still called Yankee Stadium. It still has like the same stuff that the original Yankee Stadium had, not like the original pieces, but like that fence line that the fence line at the top of the stadium used to have. They still have that. They still have a lot of the original features there. It's just not the same. Whatever.
Right, it's not the original. All right, Guardians taking on the Astros. Minute Maid and Progressive.
I'll go Minute Maid on this one.
Yeah. To me, man, the thing that makes these stick out about Minute Maid.
The train.
Yeah, they got the train, dude. They got the train with the oranges chilling. You know how cool that is? And
it is.
I will say, the reason I liked Minute Maid even more a couple years ago was because Halls Hill.
Yep.
That was just so iconic, and I'm sad they took it out still. I get center fielders hated it, but oh man, that just made that ballpark even more so unique. And it's still a great ballpark, still very unique. But yeah, for me, gotta go with the Astros. Moving on in this one. And the final matchup here in this round before we get to our semifinals, the Cincinnati Reds taking on the San Diego Padres.
Petco. I mean, you have the Western Supply Company that is an actual business.
Yeah.
But the outside of the business is actually part of the stadium, which is awesome.
It is cool.
And then you have the San Diego skyline in center field where when it's nighttime in San Diego, it's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that Petco was I thought it was an upgrade from their older stadium they had in the 90s.
Murphy?
Yep, I thought so. And I mean, a lot of these stadiums have seen some upgrades in recent years, which is nice. But we have now determined, Dustin, our Elite Eight in this baseball bracket here in about 6 or 7 minutes left. So starting off hot.
Do that one last because that one's actually going to be tough for me to decide. So
all right. We'll start from the bottom, work our way back up then. How about that?
That's fine.
All right, Astros and Padres.
Padres because it's outdoor.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. Padres get the slight advantage, but Minute Maid, tremendous ballpark. All right, a tale as old as time. Red Sox and Yankees.
If this was old Yankee Stadium,
yes,
I would go with Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
But because it's not on the edge to Fenway. Yep. Sorry, Frankie, but I gotta.
Yeah, I think he would agree. I would think so. Cardinals and Braves. Crap. This is tough.
I'm going Bush. Hate to do it to you, Logan.
No, I understand. I understand. It's all right. I love Busch Stadium, dude. The time I went there, it was tremendous, so I'm not mad at that. Truest, it's newer, but I honestly feel that if it wasn't for the battery, it loses a little bit of its luster. It's a great ballpark, don't get it wrong, because I like in the outfield, they've got the the cooler seats where you're actually like sitting in right field, looking at like the dirt and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but I gotta go with Busch with that one. All right, and the one you've been dreading, Cubs and Giants. You could go either way, dude. This is where I wish we had a tiebreaker. I think
this is. I've been to both stadiums.
Okay.
I was at Oracle when Barry Bonds hit number 73. Yeah, this is the only stadium that I would pick over Wrigley Field.
I understand.
It pains me to say that, but it's just the ocean view in center field is what gets you every single time.
So both of our teams have been knocked out by our own doing, which I think it's fair.
The fog too, like when the fog rolls in, like late this season, early season at Oracle, it's just something that you can't experience anywhere else.
All right, Dustin, final four. Red Sox, Padres, Fenway versus Petco. Which one are we going to go with?
Red Sox.
Okay. All right. Padres, beautiful stadium. But Red Sox, they got history. And now Giants and Cardinals for a chance to go to the finals.
Oracle.
Okay. All right. So that means we have a battle of the National League and the American League. NL West, AL East. Giants, Red Sox. Time for us to determine here. We can talk about this a little bit. We got a couple minutes. Who has the best stadium in baseball in both of our opinion? Let's start with Fenway. Let's talk about Fenway for a minute and why we like it.
I mean, you like Fenway for a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's one of the 3 oldest stadiums in baseball.
Yep.
It's still considered, I guess you could say, one of the father stadiums of Major League Baseball because it is the oldest, but it is the oldest park in Major League Baseball. It's 2 years older than Wrigley, so it's the oldest.
Right.
It's one of the stadiums that really has not gone through a remodel. They've done a mini remodel, but not like a significant one.
Crazy.
And the stadium itself hasn't changed, but that green monster is just what that stadium is always going to be known for. The 300-foot right field line with a 4-foot fence is what that stadium is always going to be known for. It's like whoever designed that stadium was drunk when they designed it, but it ended up working out in their favor. So, I mean, you just got to love everything about that stadium.
All right, and now talking about Oracle Park, as you mentioned, the skyline is great. Whenever it gets a little bit foggy, it looks really cool. Got the Levi's Landing in right field, with all the brick and everything, makes it look a whole lot different. The giant mitt and Coke bottle in left field. It's got a lot of really good characteristics to it. Dude, I think, honestly, Justin, hats off to you, and I'll do it for myself. We've picked 2 really good ballparks here.
Yeah.
However, I think it's time for us to pick and choose. Oracle Park or Fenway Park?
I've felt this way for a long time, and I'm going to continue to say that I do think Oracle Park is the nicest stadium in Major League Baseball just because of the location itself, everything that comes with that stadium, McCovey's Cove, the Coke bottle. They used to have a giant outfielder's glove next to the Coke bottle.
I know.
You still have the ocean. You can literally pay $10 to watch a game in a boat and just chill in the ocean right there and wait for home run balls to get there. You have a Willie Mays statue out there. There's just so much that comes with that stadium. So I will stick with how I felt for a while and put Oracle as the winner.
I can agree with that. I think obviously Fenway, it's beautiful. They've kept it true to how it was. But I think Oracle, like you mentioned, the scenery, all the uniqueness about it, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat. And I think night games too look absolutely stunning. So Oracle Park, congratulations, San Francisco Giants. You are the most beautiful ballpark in baseball. Dustin, I appreciate it, man. Going through here, chopping it up, figuring out which team has the best stadium. As always, check us out on our social media channels, Facebook, X, YouTube, Twitch, and, of course, on TikTok. Also, go follow us on LinkedIn and go check out the podcast every single week. First, that guy, Dustin Reese. I've been your host, producer, Logan Landers. Guys, enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to y'all on another live episode.